And welcome back to segment 3 of the very special episode 10 of the Playbook Pod. The interviews don't stop. Joining me today, we have he played offensive line in high school. He committed to Northwood in late 2022 and played from 2023 to 2025 there. He then transferred to NIU, where he will look to be the leader of the offensive line. Ty Mead. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Thank you for
How are we
having me.
doing?
Doing well. How about yourself?
So, what age did you get into football?
I got into football at 10 years old.
10 years old. Okay, so a
Yes,
little
sir.
bit late for most people, correct? Would you say?
Yeah. You can say that. Yep.
Where did you start, like position wise?
I started I started playing offensive line, defensive line, but I was mainly defensive line coming like growing up. But
I
yeah, I
gotcha.
played both sides of the line scrimmage.
I gotcha. Did you like defensive line at that time?
I did like defensive line because it wasn't necessarily as much thinking. I just see ball, go ball, get ball. That was the type of mindset I had.
um, when did the transition, or when did your mind say, "All right, you know what? I want to play offensive line over D line"?
I say in high school, I kind of fell in love with the process. I was blessed with a great coach, Coach Jared Johnson. He definitely got me to like really embrace being an offensive lineman, and I like grew my love for it for sure.
Fair enough. So we'll just jump straight into your kind of career here. Um, You started playing O-line in like you started playing football at 10. You
Yep.
started initially on O-line. So kind of how did the O-line process kind of differentiate? So obviously you started in elementary school, middle school? Where are you
In
in?
elementary school, but then I really like took the position over in high school.
Okay, so you started O-line in elementary school, then you went
Yep.
to middle school and then high school. Kind of how did evolve the O-line position as a whole evolve? How did you evolve as a player in that span?
I say like the biggest difference is like growing up it was more just get in front of the guy, like just make sure he doesn't make the play. Then eventually you started getting more and more like dominate the guy in front of you, and that's the mindset I really kind of got to high school. It was really more like I can help make a play for the skill positions behind me. You know what I'm saying? Like I can actually make an impact in the game by how physical I play, how dominant I play, and then just like studying the game some more too. Like as an offensive lineman, especially playing center, you got to understand the defensive schemes, what they want to do to you, and that just evolves your game completely. Like especially being able to call out a blitz or something like that to help the quarterback out. That's a big help to the team. So
Obviously, you had different QBs kind of growing up. When did you? Okay, so you started playing O line mainly in high school. Did you play mainly guard or center first?
I played guard. So I played tackle my freshman year, guard my sophomore and junior year, and then I switched to center my senior year.
Is it true? Most people kind of say that switching between the different parts of the line, so like tackle to guard, guard to center, center to tackle, etc. How hard is the process of switching from those positions back and forth?
Switching between back and forth is definitely hard, but it's like it pays off. Once you understand like how different everybody's job is, it kind of helps you evolve as a player too. So, playing all positions is definitely a plus. It's just hard to go through the process.
So you started your freshman year as a tackle. Were you JV freshman? When did
I
you
played
touch
I played
varsity football?
freshman ball. Played freshman ball my freshman year, and then from there I made the jump to varsity and started all like every single game since sophomore year to senior year.
Okay, so you started playing freshman ball at tackle. Kind of how was the process at tackle? How did you do your freshman year? And kind of did you learn anything from some of the older guys on the line on varsity and then some of the coaches?
So yeah, playing freshman ball was kind of different. Like I went to a pretty big school, so we saw the varsity guys like for very few minutes at practice. Like we do ND one time during the practice, and then we'll go out to our field. So those kind of distant from the varsity guys. But then once we got moved up for playoffs, it definitely was like a lot of them guys taking us under the wing. For example, like the NFL tackle Blake Fisher, he was kind of like a mentor to me my freshman and sophomore year. He's not playing for the Texans, but like he kind of took me under his wing and like helped me learn more techniques, understand the game a little bit more too, along with the great coach and stuff.
I got you. So you said you started. Did you start all of sophomore year as guard?
Yep.
So
Yep.
how was the transition from tackle to guard, and then how did you get moved up super quick? Did the coaches just love what they saw, the size? Kind of describe to me that whole process.
So I moved to guard, just because I was more agile. Like, I can get under people in the run game, and it was kind of like being able to pull too. Like that was a big part. Like I was able to pull efficiently. I had to beat out a lot of older guys, a lot of seniors. Like after I beat them out, like a lot of players did end up quitting because they were like, "How did a sophomore take my spot?" But it was more just, I cared about it a lot. Like it was every day in the weight room in that off season. I was like, I'm gonna do whatever I do. Like the coaches are gonna have to like take me off the field. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna do everything I can to get onto the field. And like from summer ball, like I just took it day by day. I wasn't panicking, and then I eventually ended up getting the spot right before the first game.
What mindset changed? How did your mindset change from freshman to sophomore year, knowing that, all right, I'm going to hit the weight room, I'm going to try to dominate, I want to get on the field as soon as possible?
So my coach, he was really big on like, I'm gonna do whatever you can. I'm gonna do whatever I can to get you college paid for. So it was kind of like, I had people investing in me, so I had to kind of give it back. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like I kind of fell in love with the process too. Like, not everybody wants to go in every day to the weight room and attack the weight room, but it's like you have to be great. So I kind of fell in love. The more time I put into the sport and put into training, it was like I owe it to myself to, keep that up.
I gotcha. So coaches really motivated you there. How did sophomore year go as guard?
Sophomore year, it was so I played next to Blake that year. It was definitely a fun year. Our offense was very explosive. Produced a lot of D1 guys, but we didn't necessarily make it to state like we wanted to. But I played all 11 games that year. We ended up losing first round of sectionals to a ranked team. And I believe they're ranked like top 50 nationally. But it was fun. It was fun. It was definitely a learning experience being a first time on varsity.
When did you find out you were switching to center?
So I found out junior year off season, my coach was kind of like, I feel like it'll be a good move for you. We're in need of a center, and you're the only one that knows the game, like especially our scheme inside out. And I was like, I'm willing to make that sacrifice if that's gonna help us win. So,
So you were done with sophomore year. You're in the off season, ready for junior year, correct? Is that when you found out?
the junior year I played guard again, and then junior year off season
Oh,
going into senior year. Yep.
okay. So how did junior year go as guard? And you were kind of comfortable. Did you move from left to right side? Were you more dominant on one side?
I played left the whole time, but junior year is when I definitely started to dominate. Like all that hard work in the weight room paid off. Like I was having a lot of fun, dominating my job. I started, stepping into my leadership role as well.
How did the leadership role kind of expand as time progressed?
The more like we lost older guys, it was like there was a need for leaders, and my coach kind of was like, you got to be the one to step up. So I knew like I had to depend, like everybody was dependent on me to do that too, as well as me depending on other people. So it was kind of like, the role kind of fit itself and we just stepped into that.
I gotcha. So you found out junior year off season that you're switching to center. Kind of how did you take it, and kind of how did the transition go initially? Kind of what were the struggles? How was that transition and all that?
The biggest struggle for me was snapping the ball. It was like I'm going from, just putting my hand in the ball, like hand in the ground and just being able to run off the ball. Then now I got to focus on like identifying the defense before I just snap the ball. I got to make sure everybody's on the same page. So it was like more of a mental game too. And then, just getting the ball off the ground, like to the quarterback. I got somebody lined up right in front of me. Like that was new for sure. It was definitely a mental challenge trying to get the snaps up right. But then after that, like once I got comfortable, it kind of was like, okay, I'm taking the role of leading the O line. So I
Did
did enjoy it.
you snap, or did you play with different quarterbacks with different like tempos or different cadences?
Fortunately, I had one quarterback. My from junior and senior year it was the same quarterback, so the cadence was like pretty similar. He was vocal, so it was nice. So I didn't really have to struggle too much with that.
So how did you kind of how are you and his chemistry? How did your guys kind of gel with chemistry? Because obviously every QB needs a great center
hmm
for pre-snap callouts and all that.
So that off season too, we had a group that would go into lift on Saturday mornings. Then after that, we'd all go to breakfast together, and that's when we really started, merging, started to get that trust with each other. And then from there, like we would get extra snaps in. They'll have 7-on-7 going on at the field. It was like, hey, you want to come and get some snaps in? I'm like, yeah, of course. So while they're doing 7-on-7, I'm over there snapping to the quarterback, getting them reps in, getting building that trust in the off season.
So how did you kind of adapt yourself to having to make those pre-snap adjustments at the line, kind of telling everybody else kind of what to do, what your QB was telling you? How was that transition overall from kind of just all you needed to do was when the QB says hike, you just push and
Mhm.
block to now you got to call out line assignments and then kind of give your QB as much information as possible pre snap.
I had to spend a lot of time outside of, the mandated times for football, besides the 2 hours of practice and meetings and stuff. I would like meet with my coach middle of the day. Like I'd go to his classroom when you have like extra time, study hall or something, just trying to understand the scheme some more. I would watch a lot of guys like Jason Kelsey, for example. I'd watch him break down film. I'd try to see what he's IDing, like stuff that he watches for. So I really just spent a lot of time with film and then also meeting with coaches as well.
I gotcha. So I'm guessing you and your coaches and your QB kind of all together, your OC, etc. You guys all had a really good relationship.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Did you have the same coach and OC throughout your years starting just in general? Or did
Yep.
it change a bit?
Same exact staff all 4 years.
Oh, there you go. That's
Mhm.
incredible chemistry.
Yeah,
So,
for
did
sure.
you guys have any success your senior year?
We struggled for sure. We had definitely had the talent, but it was I don't know. We had a lot of young guys playing too. So it was like, a lot of MAs, people not in the right spots when they need to be in the right spots. But we did have a lot of people go on to be successful within college and stuff like that. So I can't say that, the talent wasn't there. Like the talent was for sure there.
It was just the gelling of the team,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah, for sure.
I gotcha. So you committed to Northwood. How did Northwood notice you? What made you choose them over some of the other potential suitors that you probably had? And yeah, just describe to me the whole recruiting process.
So I got off. So Northwood hit me up and was like, "We want to get you on a game visit in 2 weeks." And I was like, "I've never heard of this school before. Like, I'm gonna definitely go. Like, that's an opportunity. Division 2 up in Michigan." So I went on that visit and I got offered there in September of 2022. And I ended up reaching back out to them because they had a coaching staff change around Christmas time. And that's when I was really like, I don't know which school I'm gonna go to. I kind of like prayed about it. I didn't really know what to do. It was like I had different opportunities, but none of them were like Division 1 opportunities that I really wanted. So I was like, I got to weigh my best options. And they had reached out to me. They were like, "This is our new coaching staff. This is who we are. This is who we are about." They told me like the straight up truth, and I was like, you know what? Like I kind of like how they wanted me. Like I felt wanted at that school. So I was like, I'm gonna go to where I'm wanted, not necessarily what might be what other people think is the best option. I'm gonna go what I think is like best for me. And I think I made the right decision for sure.
I gotcha. So you committed in late 22. You
Mhm.
spent three. Was it technically 3 seasons? Two.
Three seasons.
Three
Yep.
seasons there. Kind of describe to me the Northwood experience year to year. Did your team have success? Where did you kind of fit? Did you still play center? Did you move on the line? Kind of tell me about that a little bit.
So at Northwood, I played 32 games, played and started 32 games at Northwood. I came in, they brought me in August. I was the backup center. So they trusted me to get those reps in as a young guy. I ended up getting a starting spot because I played a few drives my first game. Then after that, like they got the starting spot, the starting center got hurt. Then from there, I just took it rolling. So they trusted me a lot. And then after that, I switched to guard my sophomore year. And then I was kind of like bouncing around between guard and center, like even in the middle of games. And then after the fourth game, they had switched me to full time center my sophomore year. So I played all those games. And then the second to last game of the season, I got rolled up on from the backside DN on the read play. He like mesh charged, tackled the running back, then he flew into my right knee. So I ended up tearing my meniscus. So I
Oh,
had missed it. Yeah, it was a rough play for sure.
oh
I had
gosh.
so I missed the last game of the season. So I played 10 games that season. And then the off season it was difficult because I never had to deal with injury before. So it was a lot of rehab and stuff, but I didn't have to get surgery, which was great. Yeah, it wasn't full on torn, so I had like a equivocal tear, so they couldn't really tell like how much it was torn without actually going into it. So I was like, I'm just gonna like risk it. You know what I'm saying? So I ended up coming back like towards the middle of spring ball that next year before my off season, my junior year. And my junior year, I came out. I played all 12 games. We made it to the playoffs. We went 9-3. Stepped into that leadership role for sure. I played guard that season. Made all conference. I played very well this past season.
But there is a
Yes,
lot
sir.
to unpack from what you kind of just talked about. So starting going all the way back, So you said you played guard, center, and then you just kept switching between the two. Was it kind of did you kind of lose a rhythm when you kept switching? Like you're getting a rhythm at center, and then you get switched to guard, and then you're getting a rhythm at guard, and you put back at center. Kind of how is those constant changes affecting you, if they affected you?
So sophomore year after the fourth game, I was go 2 drives at center. I start the game off 2 drives at center and go to guard. Then I go back to center for 2 drives. So it was like, it was hard to get into a groove for sure. It was definitely challenging, but I was like, the team needs me to do it. Like the offensive line coach, he needs me to do it. Like I need to be on the field, playing both positions. So it's kind of like, I couldn't really complain about it. Like it was definitely rough, but it was, I had to endure that because it was helping us win games. So it was definitely challenging, especially, going from snapping the ball to not snapping the ball to have to snapping again. Like that was definitely rough. But the coaches, I kind of talked to him after the season, and that's why my last season I just stuck to guard the whole time.
I gotcha. So you kept bouncing, and then you were announced to full time center for your sophomore year.
Yeah, sophomore year.
Announced as full time center, and then off season you kind of put in work.
Hmm.
Junior, you played full time
Full
guard.
time left guard. Yep, left guard.
You played full time guard, and then why did you want to transfer from Northwood? And then how was the transfer portal process, and where did NIU come from?
Okay, so going back to like why I left Northwood, Northwood was always, they were great to me. Like I had a great rapport with this coaching staff, the players. Like that was home. But it was also like I couldn't limit myself to playing Division II ball because I know my goal going into college was playing Division I football. And I had a lot of people, try to convince me like, no, just stay for another year, like just finish out your last year with the guys and stuff. But I'm like, I know for a fact I want to go play Division I ball. Like if I don't do that, I'll have a regret for the rest of my life. So, I entered the portal. My coaches, they were very supportive. They gave me like a 2 week, 2 weeks. They're like 2 weeks, keep your scholarship, all of that. You can come back. Like nothing's gonna change. Then they're like, after the 2 weeks, just keep communicating with us. And after the 2 weeks, I kind of told them, I was like, yeah, I don't plan on coming back. And I told them, I trust in God, like, and a lot of stuff's going on too. So I had a lot of coaches reaching out. I took a few visits. Um, Transfer portal is stressful. It is stressful. Like the first day you enter, you have coaches all through your DMs on Twitter, just trying to get to know more about you. Try to get you on visits and stuff. They'll never have even like heard about you before, but it's like the transfer portal. You're trying to get so many people because you don't know like what's gonna happen with your own team. So that portal that was kind of stressful. And the difference is with D2, there's no portal window. So I was able to enter the portal right when my season was done. Versus like Division I guys, they had to wait till January 2nd. So I kind of had a head start, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
So then, I was talking to a few other schools like FCS, that was the main schools I was talking to. And then my trainer from back home, Hank, he had a connection with some guy at the D-line coach here at NIU. And it was like, this guy's a dog. Like he got me my information over to him. I started talking to the O-line coach. I talked to him for like 45 minutes a day. Started talking to him for like 3 weeks. And then he was like, we don't really offer before you come on a visit, but we want to make this official now. So I ended up getting offered. I was on the middle of a visit too when I got offered. So I was like, you know what? Let me get back home from this visit, then I'm gonna commit. And I told them that they're all for it. So I committed before I took my visit too. So I committed around late December, and I took my visit January 3rd, and from there it
Dang.
was just rolling. Yeah.
It was just everything gelled together. Kind of. How did is that relationship still incredibly strong with that O line coach? They saw a lot of. Did they watch your film, or did they just go based off of your personality?
It was a little bit of both. Like my film demonstrated a lot of my personality, like how physical I play, like the mindset I have. But then the phone calls is like they recruited my personality as well. They were like, this is everything like we want inside of an O lineman, especially like losing a lot of people. Like we need somebody that's a dog coming in. Like dog mentality is gonna affect all the other younger guys, you know what I'm saying? And I'm the only senior in the O line room now too. So they kind of like took my leadership and they're like, we need that inside that room as well.
I gotcha. So, kind of, did NIU kind of tell you where you're gonna be on the O line, or they just same thing, guard center?
They just said, just a swing guy between the interior positions. So that's what I'm doing right now.
I gotcha. So, I'm guessing you know of uh Jalen Macon.
Yep.
I don't know if he's projected to be. I heard he's being projected as the starter, but
Mhm.
don't know until everything's official.
For sure.
How has your relationship been with him? Because obviously I'm assuming you're also snapping the ball a little bit.
Yep. Yep.
Kind of
Yep.
how's your relationship been with him, the rest of the old line guys, and how do you think the team chemistry is coming along?
I think I'm gonna start with the team chemistry aspect. Especially when Coach Hammock left, like other people on the outside were panicking, but it was like the people inside they knew exactly what we had special. Like people weren't, running. Like of course we had like one or two people leave, but everybody was like, like let's dive into it. Like why not? Like why not us? And then especially when they hired the new coach from internally, it was like, we're ready to attack. Like this is what we're doing. This is who we're rolling with. Like let's go get it. Let's go get after it. There's not much time to really think about Coach Hammock leaving. And Coach Hammock was a great guy. Like he left with great rapport. He's the highest paid running back coach. You know what I'm saying? So
In
it
Seattle,
was
yeah.
like any hard feelings. Yeah. Then like with Jalen, first day, like first few days, like my locker's right next to his. So every day, we was just talking like small talk, getting to know each other a little bit. And like he's a great leader for sure. He's a great leader, great athlete. Definitely what you look for in a quarterback. So he definitely welcomed with open arms. And then the O line room as well. There's a lot of guys are kind of my age too, a lot of younger guys as well. So, the room definitely has a lot of personality. They welcome me with open arms, a lot of joking, laughing, but when it's time to work, we definitely get to work. And they also, trusted me that they brought the right guy in too.
Did you commit after he left or before? Right
I was
before.
already I was already on campus doing my workout, so he left. He left probably about 3 weeks ago in the middle of one of our workouts.
So you committed. Did you talk to Hammond in the recruiting process?
Yep. So the thing with Hammock, he has to talk to every guy before, that ultimate decision is made before you want to offer a guy or a guy commits. Because Hammock, he wants to ultimate test of personality. Because it's all about the type of people you have on the team. Like you can be a great athlete, but if you're not the right person mentally, and it's not like if people want to be around you, that's the type of people you want on the team. So like Hammock, he's definitely a huge part of the recruiting process. We had a great conversation as well. Um, we were all in, and then it was just that that opportunity came about. He had to do what's best for him and his family.
So obviously the opportunity came about. He became the highest paid coach in
Mm.
the NFL, I believe, for RBs. He
Yeah.
went to Seattle, who just lost Kenneth Walker. So now it'll be interesting to kind of see how that all shakes out.
Mhm.
Anyway, how did you initially react? Like you said, it was in the middle of a workout when everything got announced. And how did the rest of the team react initially?
Yep.
Um, how did everybody rally together and we're like, Hammond just left. He got a great opportunity. And then the DC comes in from internally, and we're like, we can rally around this guy. He's the guy for our team.
So yeah, initially it was more like it was shock. It was shock for sure. Because like nobody really seen it coming, but at the same time, it was like Seattle, like the team that just won the Super Bowl, like that's crazy. Like we have direct connections with somebody that just won a Super Bowl. So most of the guys were happy. Some people were confused at first, but then ultimately it was like I think probably 99% of people would have made the same decision. Like, what I'm saying, to be the highest paid coach, going to a great organization. So a lot of people were supportive. And there was a lot of confusion, but then they announced that the DC was going to be taking over, and it was more like, okay, we're hiring somebody from inside the organization. Like that's great. Like that's great for our program. And Coach Harley, he's the truth. If you look at his resume, he has a lot of great experience. Uh, it's his first time being a head coach, but I feel like that's the right guy for us. He knows about culture. He knows what it takes. So a lot of the guys, dove into it. He brought a lot of, he wants to build us as a team first. And so we have been diving into that, getting to know each other a lot more. Because, a team is stronger when you're playing for your brothers. And I feel like that's what's really instilled upon us. So we're excited. We're excited for what's to come.
For sure. And then the other kind of hard hitter, not really hard hitter, but NIU's been kind of through the trials and tribulation, but this year it's going to be a test. As you guys left the MAP conference to go to the Mountain West, are you excited for the new opportunity of a little bit? I would say the Mountain West is about higher level conference, if not maybe a little bit of the same. I don't really know. It's kind of even. Are you excited to be hosting Hawaii from all the way on the other side of the world? And
Yeah.
kind of just how do you feel about overall where you're at now with that conference?
So for Mountain West, it's a great opportunity for us to travel. We're young. We get to see a lot of them schools out west, a lot, California. We're gonna be in like Nevada, places like that. Then like next year, the guys will get to go to Hawaii. So like that's a great experience to be able to travel. And it's also we play in the cold weather. Some of those other schools don't play in the cold weather, so we have an advantage when it comes to late games. So I'm looking forward to that as well. And the competition, I'll definitely say it's a lot higher in the Mountain West. A lot of people want to say it's like the highest of G6 beside between like us and Sunbelt. So that's going to be fun too to be able to play like some of them big like Ashton Gentry was just at Boise State, for example. Like there's a lot of talent in Mountain West for sure.
Yeah, Boise though unfortunately
But
left
Boise
the Mountain
Boise did,
West.
yeah, they
Yeah,
did
they
leave.
went to the new pack. Uh, um, for the time being though, so you're going in expectations of winning the Mountain West,
Mhm.
and honestly, Jalen Macon said the same thing. What you said earlier, he said that the cold weather is going to give us an advantage because we're from all the way on the other side of the country compared to
Yep.
where these guys are.
Mhm.
Do you think that Mountain West championship expectations are we can make this thing because we have the cold weather behind us?
No, I would definitely say that we think we can win the Mountain West because of our talent and like how strong we play as a team. But
That's it.
it's definitely an advantage when we have home games. So like when we go on the road, like we're not gonna be playing in the cold, but we still have to play for our brothers, and that's what's gonna ultimately get us where wins.
So what are your expectations for yourself this year? And then you obviously said that the expectation for NIU as a whole is let's go win this thing, let's go win the Mountain West, possibly make the college football playoffs depending on how everything shapes out.
Sure.
Go win a national title. Where are your expectations for yourself for this season
When it
to
comes to
start?
myself, I want to dominate in whatever role I get put in, whether, I'm playing center, whether I'm playing guard, being a swing guy, and then also, being the best leader I can be. Like whether like, leading by example, leading vocally, making sure we're not getting too high, too low during adversity. Uh, just being like, the perfect guy for the team. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that can be me on the field playing well as my leadership vocal wise.
I gotcha. So, and then expectations for NIU, we're gonna go win the Natty. Your rushing attack's gonna have like 5,000 yards. Quarterback's gonna have 15,000. You already know we're gonna break every record. Okay,
Yeah.
but the expectations in the locker room are let's go win the Mountain West championship. Let's show the Mountain West that we belong here. We can handle the competition. And kind of where do you think your team will lie?
I think, we're gonna definitely take it game by game, especially those early games with like Iowa, Arizona. We want to really show people that we can hang with like the quarter like big dogs, you know what I'm saying? But just taking it game by game, dominate the rushing attack. That's number one. Dominate the rushing attack for every single game we play, offensively speaking, and then stopping the run on defense. Like that's gonna be what we hang our hat on. And ultimately, if you look at like the stats and stuff for FBS football, whoever wins the rushing stat is the one that usually wins the game.
For sure. I agree with that. How are you feeling about the talent in your building right now? Obviously, Macon, described him as a great leader, great passer.
Yep.
He can use his legs, is what he told me on the pod.
Mhm.
How do you think everybody's in general is kind of gonna gonna perform for this upcoming year?
I think everybody's very hungry. We lost a lot of people, so a lot of people are now getting their opportunity to really shine. So, it was watching other people, being supportive, but now it's time for us. Like, the people that haven't necessarily got as many reps as they wanted to last year, like now there's an opportunity. Like people are hungry. But we also did bring in a lot of transfers, and our transfers all have high game experience. If you look at like all their resumes, people have played 20 to 30 games each. And so, we have a lot of experience that's coming into games. So I think that's what if you look at like IU for example, Kursignetti, he brought in people that had a lot of experience, a lot of games played, a lot of reps played, and I feel like we kind of followed that same process. So I feel like when it comes to experience and stuff, that's something going to be big for us.
So NIU is on the rise. We heard it here
Yep.
essentially. NIU is
Yes,
on the
sir.
rise. I look forward to hopefully getting to a game this fall. Do you play any of your non-conference opponents at home, or do you just play conference games at home?
We play Illinois State at home.
Okay, that should be interesting.
Yeah.
And then obviously you dive into conference play. I have to see what game I can get out to. I'm actually gonna give it a hell of a try to get out to a game because my
Yes,
two
sir.
buddies go there to
Okay.
NIU. So
Nice.
we're gonna kind of steer off of your career because you said you know NFL ball.
Yep.
I'm gonna ask you, um, for starters, who did you watch? Did you watch any offensive lineman film? If so, who? And then did you take any aspects of their game that you liked and then put them into your own?
I said number one guy I watch, Quentin Nelson, Jason Kelsey. Those two guys, they know how to combine like the physicality and aggressiveness with technique, especially Jason Kelsey. Like people look at him play, they think athlete first. You know what I'm saying? He's over there blocking 30 yards down the field with a safety on the run play. Somehow the running back's all the way down the field and he's right in front of him. You know what I'm saying? So just watching, that O lineman can also be athletic. So Jason Kelsey, like his technique and his athletic ability. Quentin Nelson with the pulls. Also, Trent Williams. Trent Williams, nasty, violent, like technique as well. Like, those are guys that really get after it. Those are the people I watched a lot.
I gotcha. So, do you know offensive line units as a whole?
Yeah, the one that sticks out to me the most is the Eagles. Even though they lost, like, Jason Kelsey, they still have, I think, probably the heaviest O line in the country or NFL.
Do you
Like,
think you
majority
can
of my
rank your
live.
top 5 to 10 offensive line units as a whole?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm actually curious about this from you. So, you're super high on the Eagles, but
Yeah.
rank your top 10 offensive line units.
Number one, I say the Broncos.
Okay.
Number one, Broncos. Um, Number two, I put the Eagles.
Okay.
Uh,
You an Eagles fan, or are you just a
nah,
big fan of
nah,
Jason
just
Kelsey?
just a big fan of Jason Kelsey, but
Fair
I said
enough.
Eagles. Um, I'd put I say Cowboys, like the Cowboys. I put the Colts. Colts at 4. I'm a big Colts fan guy too. Uh, Number 5, I'd say I like the Bucks, like Tristan Wirfs. So I like the Bucks. Um, and then I thought the Bears also did pretty well this past season too.
Are
Joe
you a
Thune,
fan of a certain team?
Colts, big Colts fan.
Colts fan. Okay, fair enough.
Yes, sir. And then I said that's probably the numbers I can name right now.
Did you kind of keep track of the Colts like free agency stuff or a little bit? And then if so, if you did, how did you like their moves?
Uh, I Going with Daniel Jones. I think that I kind of was supporting the Kyler Murray move. Sign Kyler Murray for a little bit of money, pick up some pieces in the offseason with the free agency cap. But I think signing Daniel Jones, I don't really know how that's going to be. Signing him for $40 million. I feel like he overpaid a little bit, especially with him getting injured last season. Um, I did see that we let go of Michael Pittman for a 6th-round pick. I guess that was for cap space. I hope that was for cap space. But I do think,
You'd be correct, I believe.
yeah. But I do want to see us, pick up another receiver if possible. But I do like our corner situation, like Charvarius Ward, Sauce Gardner, Kenny Moore. I feel like that's a definitely a strong core. Um, I'd like to see us get a linebacker within the draft though, with trading
Definitely
Zaire
the
for
draft to grab defense. I will tell you that
100%.
confidently. That and then receivers also, and running backs are pretty deep too.
Mm-hmm.
And I got one more ranking I want you to do. It's top 5 offensive linemen that you've watched film on.
Like you talking all time or
All
recent?
time. If you can name 5 current.
I'm gonna go all time.
Okay.
More recent though. I say Jason Kelsey, Trent Williams. Um, I'd go third one. I say Quentin Nelson. I'd go like Andrew Whitworth,
Okay.
and I'd go. I can't think of his name. 77 that played tackle for the Cowboys.
Tyron Smith.
Tyron Smith. Yep, Tyron Smith.
I was thinking Tyron Smith or Zach Martin. I think it was Tyron Smith.
Yeah, Tyron Smith for sure.
That's a good list. I can't lie. I got one more question for you, and then I'll let you go because you're a busy man. Quick championship, quick natty.
So
Obviously, we know NIU's going to the national title game. This is written in stone. Who are you guys playing?
we'd be playing. That's a good question. Say Georgia.
Georgia. The
Yep.
script writers have it. NIU and the natty. Come on, let's make it happen, script writers.
NIU Georgia. Yep.
And then NFL Super Bowl predictions.
NFL Super Bowl. Uh, got Colts. Colts versus Uh, Chiefs, AFC, NFC. I forgot. I got Colts, then Seahawks are NFC, right? I
So
say
Colts,
Colts,
Seattle.
49ers. Colts and
Colts
49ers.
49ers. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were going Seattle. Nah.
Nah, nah, nah.
That's
Colts
crazy.
49ers.
Hey, the Colts actually looked like a Super Bowl team pre Daniel Jones injury, and then it all fell
100%.
apart.
100%.
And I got one last question for you. So if you had any advice for a kid trying to go, play high school ball, start, and then go eventually to college, make their way to the D1 level, and then hopefully for you, we'll see you in the NFL next year, and for them also in the NFL. What advice do you have for them, like mindset wise and just in general?
I say compete, but don't compare. Every day, try to find something to compete with, find other people on your team to compete with. Not necessarily bad thing, but just like, compete. Like, it doesn't have to be, trash talking and stuff, but it's like, okay, this guy's doing this way. I'm gonna do some way higher and I'm gonna move it faster. Or if it's, sprinting, he just won that last conditioning rep, I'm gonna win the next one. Going back and forth. Every day should be competition. And then also, just trusting the process, taking it day by day, diving into the process. You got to focus on the root, not the fruit. You can't think about, oh, I'm gonna play D1, go to the NFL. You got to think about, what am I doing today? What am I doing next week? What am I doing now to prepare myself to get to the D1 level?
That's a tough quote. We appreciate you for coming on the pod, though.
Appreciate you having me.
NIU, I've interviewed the last two segments have been NIU guys, and you guys are for sure going to win the Natty with all the character in the locker room.
Yes, sir.
Jalen's a great quarterback to go lead you guys there, and I'm sure that he will take you to the promised land.
100%.
Uh, segment 4 will be free agency winner and losers with a couple of buddies of mine. There's going to be a total of 4 of us. Ty, appreciate you popping on, making some time.
I
Um,
appreciate you having me.
no problem, man. And we'll see you in segment 4.
All right, sounds